There's something about the way you make me feel inside. I'm counting down the days till we fly away, heading to the sun, only you and me. Don't wanna waste another day being stuck here in this place. No, wanna hold your hand in mine, watch the sunset in your eyes. Baby, I want us to act like we are 22 right now.
Hey guys, welcome back to this week's video. If you are new here, my name is Diamond. I am a mom of 4 and I'm currently in school. I love sharing cleaning motivational videos as well as decor and lifestyle, pretty much all things mom life. But today I'm going to be taking you through a typical day starting with my morning after dropping the kids off at daycare. Now I'm first making me a cup of coffee, but I actually won't make it before I take them to school just because it's so much to do once we're all up and running around trying to get ready. So I'll just wait until I'm home to be able to enjoy it. And I don't always eat breakfast in the mornings. I'm not always really hungry that early, but when I'm in the mood to have something, I'll just grab one of my Jimmy Dean breakfast bowls. Now, this is just something quick and easy for me to eat, plus, it's really good. So, I buy them maybe like 5 at a time just for me to have when I'm ready to eat breakfast. So, most of the time, my bed is actually made before I even leave the house, but I didn't do that today because I knew that I was going to be pulling the sheets off and changing them out because the ones I just took off needed to be washed. So, I'm just quickly changing those out and then I'll make the bed and kind of pick up everything in the floor. Like I said, it's a little bit hectic in the mornings, so the mess can be big or it can be small. It just depends on how early or late that we actually get up in the morning to get more things done.
Yeah, I just wanna lose my breath. Yeah, I just wanna lose my.
So when I get home, it is always so much on my mind that I have to get done or that I'm trying to get done that it's hard for me to focus on just doing one task at a time. And I try to do something and I'll jump to doing another thing and then trying to do something else. So it ends up that I don't get much done at all. So on the days when I don't have class in the morning, I try to take my time to plan what I'm going to do first and then what's next and so on. And this kind of helps me just to stay on task as well as make sure that I can get the most out of my mornings while the kids are gone. But I also have to decide like what's most important and what's going to be the quickest task, as well as make sure to decide if I need to do any of my schoolwork before the kids get home from school and daycare, or if it can wait until later in the evening. But this is really going to pretty much be the determining factor in what I'm actually going to be able to get done that day, because once the kids are home, my focus is on them and how my evening routine will go, especially if I have somewhere to go that evening or if they have an appointment or something. Then I want to make sure that any important tasks have been already completed, and that way I can come home and make sure to get started on dinner, as well as make sure that they get started on getting ready for bed.
Yeah, I just wanna lose my.
So, as I was vacuuming the floor, I realized it was time for the carpet to be cleaned again. I wish it was as easy as cleaning it every time a spot gets dirty, but in an apartment with carpet, that's just unrealistic with all of us walking through and the kids wasting something. So I have to clean the entire thing all at once, no matter how often I do it. which seems to be needed more often than I care for. And because the wet vac I have is a small one, I have to refill it more than 5 times before I've even covered the entire floor just in the living room. So I can't do it during the day, which means that I have to do it at night after the kids are in bed. And to be honest, I just don't always have the energy to tackle it, especially during the week. So it gets pretty bad right at the door sometimes, especially if it's rained through that week. So with that being said, when we get our house, I do not want carpet.
Hold you tight, call you mine, think about you every time. I remember that it's over, yeah. You never break, you never lie, you never ever scared of the dark. So why am I the one who cries? I'm so afraid to be left behind. I think about you a lot. It's almost like I can't stop, yeah, yeah. You never lose an argument, so I've been trying hard to pretend that I'm okay. It's just a phase, and everything is going just great. I think about you a lot. It's almost like I can't stop, yeah, yeah. I always knew that this would happen, yeah. You would find a new distraction. I need you more, need you here, more than I would like to admit. Can we let go of tomorrow? Yeah. You never break, you never lie, you never ever scared of the dark.
So it's about 30 minutes before Blaze and Tristan got home, and Blaze had a dentist appointment that I needed to take her to today. So I wanted to make sure that everything had gotten done. That way once they got home, we can just hop in the truck and I can take her there. And then also we went by Walmart on the way home because I needed to pick up some carrots for my beef stew that we were going to be having for dinner.
It's almost like I can't stop.
Oh, I guess that's all. I thought that was probably. I thought that was cool. Where is the black Spider-Man? That's what I'm looking for. Or black Spider-Man costume.
So while we were at Walmart, I went ahead and let Tristan pick out his costume. Blaze already had hers, and I bought the girls theirs last week. And then they also saw some trick-or-treating bags that they wanted to get, so I let them pick it out. And then I got London and Aaliyah one as well.
Think about you.
So once we made it back home, I had Blaze and Tristan go ahead and start on their homework. Usually they'll do it like after they get off the bus. I'll give them 30 minutes to an hour to kind of just chill and relax and have a snack to eat, and then they'll get started on their homework. But since Blaze had her appointment, they're not getting it done until now. So I just had them sit at the counter and do it while I got started on dinner. And like I mentioned earlier, I'm making beef stew. So I just went ahead and started chopping up some celery, and I also chopped up an onion. And then for this, I'm also using potatoes, red potatoes and yellow potatoes. I just like it that way. You don't have to do both. You can do just one or the other. And then what I like to do is just go ahead and sear my vegetables here, and once they are done, then I'll go ahead and add in my beef so that can also cook for a little bit and just kind of brown before I throw it all in the pot for it to cook all together. So now that I have my beef going, I'm just going to start cutting up my potatoes into cubes. Now I didn't peel the red ones, but I did peel the yellow potatoes. And once I got that done, I washed them off and set them to the side until I was ready to put them in the pot. Now in the middle of me cooking, the kids were actually getting a little bit too loud and they were playing in the living room, and I needed them to kind of just chill out for a bit while I finished cooking. So I put on The Curse of Bridge Hollow, which is a new movie on Netflix. It's really good, and I thought that it was very funny. So if you've been looking for some ideas for your family movie night, this is a great one. So I didn't actually use an exact recipe for this. The reason why I make it this way is because this is close to the way my grandmother made it, and her key ingredient was vegetable juice. So I used 3 cups of water and 1 cup of beef broth, and I let that cook for about an hour so that the beef could get really tender. And then I went back and added in the V8 juice and my veggies and the potatoes to let that cook. And while that was cooking, I just went ahead and kind of played around with the kids and then got them started on their baths so that it would be easier for me to go ahead and get into the night routine, since I was going to be solo this night, because Tay does coach a little league team and they had a game this night. So it was just me and the kids at home.
And now, look at my mama over there. And I haven't seen her. But this is my channel today. So I'm gonna, boom. I'm gonna be doing. So y'all, I'm gonna be doing some TikTok dances. What? Hold on. Hello guys. So I was.
So I got the kids settled back down so that I can go ahead and start cleaning up the kitchen. Usually I would have done this already before I even started cooking, but I just decided to wait until I was done with any dishes that I was going to be using during my cooking. But I always like to keep the kitchen clean before we even have dinner, just because it'll be easier to kind of do the night cleaning after everybody has eaten and everything already. So that's what I'm gonna be doing here. And I also had to empty the dishwasher, because you guys know I like to hand wash my dishes and then put them in the dishwasher to dry. So while I finished cleaning up the dishes in here, it was actually getting a little bit close to the kids' bedtime. So I had them go ahead and start taking their baths. Like I said, this is just easier for me because we were going to be here, just me and the kids. And it was just going to be easier for them to eat dinner and then go straight to bed afterwards. And that way they didn't have to be up later than need be.
Silent treatment, is this what it feels like when your heart is aching, when it bleeds? If it's over, just say it out loud. Say those words, go ahead, just shout it out.
Yeah, Aaliyah was standing in the kitchen with me, and she is pretty much always right there behind me no matter what I'm doing, no matter where we are. She's gonna be right there, pretty much tied to my hip. But she was just standing here watching and seeing what I was doing, and she was actually trying to help out a little bit. It was so cute. But I just love how she just clings to me. Even when the other kids are just playing around, she'll still just be right there next to me.
Now we've been playing his since 4 a.m. and you haven't said a word to me. Silent treatment, is this what it feels like when your heart is?
So by this time the kids had already eaten and gone to bed, and it was time for me to eat. I waited until Tay got home so that we can eat, because we were going to be watching a movie together. And I just went ahead and fixed our food, and it looks and smells so good. And I just added a little bit of parsley on top, because what's a meal without parsley? But I found these cute little bowls at Dollar Tree, and that's what we ate out of tonight. But this is going to be it for this video. Please give it a thumbs up if you've enjoyed, and also if you want to try this, I will leave all of the ingredients down below in the description. But I will see you all in next week's video.
4 a.m. Silent tree. is what it feels like